Growing up in Michigan, the Detroit Big Three automakers were a part of everyday life. It felt like almost everybody had a family member or a friend who worked for one of the automakers. And these Big Three automakers just printed stacks of cash selling their pickup trucks, the F-150, the Chevy Silverado, and the Ram. But we have to remember that there are other pickup trucks out there too. In Michigan, it felt like every other vehicle was either a Ram, a Silverado, or an F-150, but you have Toyota and Nissan making pickup trucks that are trying to be competitive in this segment to try to grab a little bit of market share and get some money. So we have this, the 2020 Nissan Titan. This is the PRO-4X trim, which starts just under $50,000, as equipped to somewhere in the $60,000 range. It's refreshed for the 2020 model year with a couple big changes in the powertrain, and as a PRO-4X trim, you can see it's got the more off-road tires. It's the off-road oriented one. The Nissan Titan only has one available engine. It's this 5.6 liter naturally aspirated direct injected V8, makes 400 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque. Also new for this generation is a 9-speed automatic transmission. I'll tell you guys right now, that 9-speed auto is one of the highlights of this truck's powertrain. All those things combined mean that this 2020 is a whole second quicker, 50 to 70 miles an hour, than the 2019 model year truck, which you can feel it driving around, leaving the line. It's quick shifts, it's good power, sounds pretty dang good too, a naturally aspirated V8. Because this is a PRO-4X level, you get Bilstein shocks, it has 4-wheel drive as standard, and also has a locking rear differential. From an exterior styling standpoint, the PRO-4X model is going to be my favorite in the Nissan Titan lineup. You get all this blacked out trim, this blacked out grille and badges, and then these orangish, reddish accents with the tow hooks there, and then you get the badges all around, a couple accents. And as the PRO-4X model, it's the most rugged, off-road oriented one. So you see the general grabber tires, the different wheels, the metal side steps, and obviously all the blacked out trim too. They did a good job updating it. A lot more LEDs in the headlights and taillights, nice daytime running light shape. The rear taillights really do resemble, in terms of shape, the F-150's taillights. I actually had a couple people point that out, like, that looks like an F-150 taillight, but the design inside is obviously different. I think they did a very good job updating this and allowing it to stand out from the American trucks. It looks different, and it actually does look pretty premium, especially as a PRO-4X. On the inside, the Titan has received some very welcome and much needed updates to make it competitive with the class. Starting with an updated 9-inch touchscreen here with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay as standard, but even beyond the touchscreen, you actually still have a bunch of physical buttons and dials, which is still nice to have so you're not digging through a touchscreen. We also have something that Nissan calls Safety Shield 360, and it's the suite of driver assistant aids. So Safety Shield 360 comes with, get ready, blind spot monitoring, lane departure warning, rear cross traffic alert, high beam assist, rear automatic braking, and automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection. Whew, that is a lot of features, and the crazy thing is, it is all standard on these Nissan Titans, regardless of trim, whereas on most other vehicles, you have to option those in with extra packages. Have a couple other nice luxury touches too. We've got heated steering wheel, heated and cooled seats. We do have surround view cameras, but the resolution definitely leaves a lot to be desired. You can change the camera mode to show that right front wheel too for off-roading, but not the highest resolution of camera footage either. Also we've got reconfigurable cup holders in this phone holder here. It's got this system of little like clips here that you can change the order and clip them back in, so that's kind of cool and handy. And other than that though, panoramic sunroof, it's competitive now. Nissan has these zero gravity seats, which are pretty comfortable. And as a PRO-4X, it's not like overly emblazoned with logos and badging. You get this stitching on the seat itself, got something on the floor mats, and then obviously the orange accents carry across a bit with some nice stitching. But beyond that, it's relatively restrained. Upgraded Fender audio system. I will say they've done a good job. This is definitely a big step above the Toyota Tundra. I got it in the Tundra recently. I was like, are you kidding me? It feels like it hasn't changed in a decade. This is finally getting up there, but unfortunately the Ram still wins the segment by far in terms of interior luxury, technology, and materials. But I will say, this Titan PRO-4X is a pretty nice place to be in. When driving a Nissan Titan, one of my favorite parts of this truck is going to be the powertrain, specifically the 9-speed automatic transmission. It always keeps you in the power band. It delivers nice, quick, smooth shifts, and you really can't tell that it's hunting around for gears like some of the early 10-speed, 9-speed, the high number of gear automatic transmissions. It does really well in this truck. Now, it doesn't return great fuel economy, but again, you're in a truck with a big V8. Nissan is able to claim the most powerful standard engine in this segment in this truck because their only engine is this 5.6 liter V8. You don't have a smaller V6. There's no forced induction V6 option or a more powerful V8 option. So that 400 horsepower is the only thing you get unless you go up to a diesel in the XD or something. So the powertrain is quite nice. Now, one of the immediate first things of criticism that the Titan will get from owners of other vehicles, loyalists to a Silverado, F-150, or Ram, is the towing capacity and the payload capacity is not as high as those. But when's the last time an F-150 owner is truly maximizing their towing capacity? Nissan is betting on the fact that there's a vast majority of people who don't truly utilize the full potential of their trucks, and they merely want combination of status symbol, or they will use utility, but something that is going to be enough. It's going to take you to a trip on Home Depot and fill it up with mulch and go do your gardening. It'll be fine. It'll haul some plywood for whatever you need. You have the utility, but not quite the true hardcore usage. Now, since this is the Pro-4X model, the more off-road oriented one, the immediate comparison in my mind is going to be the Ram Rebel. Spent a good amount of time with a brand new Ram Rebel, and while the Bilstein shocks do a good job of absorbing road imperfections and ride comfort, it can't quite match the air suspension that you'd find in the Ram. But this thing has plenty of off-road equipment, from the front skid plate to the tires to the suspension and the rear differential. I really wish I could take it off-road, but unfortunately don't have an opportunity to do that right now. So merely a on-road review. Couple other nice features that I like while driving it. It does still have a column-mounted shifter, minus and plus mode for controlling your transmission. I can downshift right now. There we go. But I'm in third gear, and we can punch it. Upshift. Oh, it's a little bit slow for the up and down. And also there is a tow mode button at the very end of it. Now, how do I go back into just normal drive? I don't know how to do that trick now. Nope, don't downshift more. There we go. Held the plus button and it went back into drive mode. In terms of value, the Titan is absolutely competitive. So the base price is just under 50 grand, which is a little bit higher than the Ram Rebel. But in the Rebel, you have to option in the Hemi V8. You have to option in the driver assistance packages. You have to option in the air suspension and things like that. So once equipped out, this truck should be right around the $60,000 range based on what I found with the configurator. Whereas the Rebel that I was driving was $64,000. Now this is all before any rebates or discounts that are happening. We won't talk about that. Where this does fall short, like I mentioned, is some of the towing capacity and the payload, and also the interior materials. There are some nice touches with the stitching and a couple soft touch things, a little bit of leather on the steering wheel, but I mean, there's a lot of hard plastic in other places, whereas the Ram definitely feels more premium. Compared to the F-150 and the Silverado, it's going to be a little bit more on par in terms of the tech and interior. One other big thing that the Titan absolutely beats the rest of the segment is going to be its warranty. 5-year, 100,000 mile, where most trucks are going to be 3-year, 36,000 mile. Powertrain, yes, they'll match it with 5 and 100,000 miles, but I think some of them, F-150 included, is only 6 years. The powertrain actually is lower. I think it's 60,000 miles. Regardless, the Nissan Titan complete comprehensive 5-year, 100,000 mile warranty is absolutely industry leading. And that's something good. I mean, a lot of people use these trucks as their utility vehicle. They're going to keep them for a long time, put a lot of miles on them. And having the peace of mind knowing it is covered for 5 years, 100,000 miles is absolutely an advantage. So to wrap it up, the brand new Nissan Titan has a very good 9-speed automatic transmission, one of the highlights of the drivetrain in this truck. Has a class-leading 5-year, 100,000 mile warranty. It loses out a little bit in terms of payload and towing capacity, and the interior still does not quite feel as premium as some of the competitors in this space. But I think Nissan has done an excellent job updating this to make it competitive with the Ram, the Silverado, and the F-150. And if you're looking to move beyond, you're not particularly insanely loyal to the American trucks, and you want to try something else with a little more value thrown in, it's worth considering. That Safety Shield 360, all the tech things that are as standard on the truck, is definitely an appealing thing. I think the PRO-4X is the sweet spot in the lineup because you got the unique styling cues of the off-road things, the blacked out grille. It does have that utility, the durability with the skid plates. Here you got the rear differential, things like that. Adds up to be a pretty cool package. I've enjoyed my time with this Titan. Unfortunately this week, since, I mean, given the current global situation, I've been staying home a lot, have not been able to drive it as much, but took it on the freeway, took it around on some roads. I actually did it a couple of little windy back roads, and it did all right with the standard 4x4 system. Put it in 4 high, tried that out. But this is the refreshed 2020 Nissan Titan, absolutely competitive, so good job. I'm looking forward to see where they continue to take and evolve the brand, because they have to be competitive in this highly lucrative segment. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.